Hey guys, and welcome to a new little series that I'm going to be doing, which is going to be from 0 to a token in the war within from gold farming. And this is going to be episode number 1. We're going to be using methods from my gold making guide. If you want to check that out, it is linked down below. So to start off with, the token is currently worth around about 250 gold on the NA region, so 256,000. Now this price might change a little bit. It's been going up and down quite a bit because of the release of the Bruto. However, this is about roughly our goal for this challenge. Now we're going to be doing this only from gold farming. So a lot of people can follow along and do exactly what I'm doing to make enough gold to get a token at the moment. We're going to be doing this on the NA region, but the prices are kind of similar over on EU. We're going to be starting off with absolutely 0 gold. We also have no items that we can sell already. We also have cleared out our auction house and the mailbox. The gear that we're going to be using is just the normal speed set for level 80 with the 564 item level BOEs that have plus speed on them. This isn't required, but it just makes it a little bit easier when doing the gold farms. It makes me a bit quicker. So we'll go ahead and we'll have a look at the auction house, and as you can see, we've cleared out the auction house completely. There are 0 items up on the auction house, and also we have 0 items in the mailbox. The first farm that we're going to be doing is a cloth farm, and we're going to be doing this in Halo 4 at this location right here. Now, for this farm to actually work, you are going to need 2 professions. You're going to need tailoring and inscription. For tailoring, you want to have 30 points in textile treasures, so you can get more cloth from humanoid mobs, and this is very important. Also, you want to have 30 points in quality fabric, and this is going to allow you to get the rank 2s and also the rank 3s of all the different cloths from doing this farm. You also want to unlock the dust weave tailoring. You just need to unlock it, you don't need to put any points into it. And then you also want to unlock the dawn weave tailoring. You just want to unlock this once again. To unlock it, you are going to need to put 30 points in from dawn until dusk, and then this will allow you to just unlock the dawn weave tailoring. Now also, you do want to have inscription. This will allow you to get the dark moon cards, which sell pretty quickly up on the auction house. So this is just for some extra gold. Now to increase this, you want to put 15 points in each of the subcategories, so the dark moon sigils. And as you can see, once you put 15 points, you get an extra 50% dark moon cards. So this is the farm that we're going to be doing to start off with. Now with this farm, this is best done in a 2x4, meaning 2 groups. In each group there is 4 people. In one of the groups, I recommend having a monk with a statue set up at this location right here, and basically the rest of the people to be pullers, so either druids or hunters, and their goal is to pull all the mobs in the surrounding area back to the statue where the mobs will be killed. Now make sure when you're doing this farm that everyone knows that you've got to be pulling all of the mobs. That is why I have some markers set out right here, so the rest of the group can see where the mobs are going to be respawning. Because it's very important to pull every single one of the mobs, because once you actually do, then the mobs will start hyper spawning, and you're going to get a lot more kills per hour and a lot more gold if this is done correctly. So it's very important. As you can see, within an hour on our loot appraiser, we got around 37,000 gold, and this is in steady gold. Now the loot appraiser does not track the higher item level BOE prices, so we're looking more about around 50 to 60,000 gold. Now if you do get lucky with the BOEs, you can get some with plus speed on them, and they go for around like 20 all the way up to 50,000 gold each. And also some of the item level 564, which are the higher item level ones, so like these ones, these also sell for a lot more gold than the loot appraiser is going to be showing. So this is the loot that we got. We also got around 3,000 raw gold just from doing this farm and looting gold. After we vendor this also, or the trash items, you get a bunch of greys. We'll have another about 400 gold just from vendoring those. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and we'll throw all this up on the auction house. Now all of the cloth is going to sell extremely quickly. The BOEs might take a little bit to sell, but they do actually still sell, and they sell fairly well. A lot of people are buying them just to gear out their alt characters very quickly. So let's go ahead. We'll just use Auctionator to go ahead and post all these items. And now when we're posting, a thing that we're looking out for is that we're not posting at any bait prices. So what some people will do, especially with materials with the War Within, is that they'll post like one of the item for a way cheaper price, hoping people, when they're selling all of their items, post it for that cheaper bait price. So we just want to make sure that we don't post at that bait price and we can get as much gold as possible for the items that we have just farmed. But within an hour, we're looking at around about 50,000 gold, which is nice and good. So we'll get everything posted up on the auction house. As you can see, we've already sold 12k of them while we're just posting them up, and we also have another 30k posted up on the auction house. That should sell fairly quickly. So overall, this is a really good farm. Now I'm going to mix up the farms. We could just do this all the way to a token and it would be pretty quick, but let's go ahead and try a whole heap of different farms. So we'll go ahead and we'll unlearn inscription, and we'll go ahead and we'll learn skinning, and then I'll show you one of the best skinning farms to do. So first of all, let's go ahead and learn skinning. Now because we're just learning skinning, we're not going to have all the knowledge points and everything to do it as efficient as possible. However, this will still be a very good farm, and it's very realistic to a beginner. I want to show you what a beginner can do and what they actually have to do. So to start off with the skinning, you want to go ahead and you want to collect all of the treasures. So treasures, basically these little things that you find around the map, and they're going to give you knowledge points for that profession. So we went ahead and we got all of the different treasures for skinning. Now what we need to do is we need to level up skinning. We might as well just level this up while we're actually doing the farm. And now once you get, I think it's level 25 in the profession, any profession, then you can go into a specialization so you can maximize the amount of gold you make from these professions. So the farm that we're actually doing is in Isle of Dawn at this location right here, and we're going to be doing the bee and wolf farm. So there's a bunch of elites here, and you can do this in a group, and I highly recommend doing this in a group because they are elites and they are pretty hard to kill if you try to do this solo. So what you do with this farm is it works easily. You just get a group of 5 people. You want to make sure at least one of the people in the group is a tank and preferably a healer, so you can do some really big pulls. And basically you're just going ahead and you're killing all of the bees and all of the wolves at this location. Now to find a group for this, you can just go into looking for group under custom, and it'll be called something like the bee farm or bee/wolf farm or skinning farm for the War Within, something like that. And a lot of people are actually making groups for this farm. It's a pretty popular farm because it's one of the best skinning farms that you can do at the moment, and it actually makes a decent amount of gold. Also, make sure you're using this potion when you are doing this skinning farm. This will help you out quite a bit. So let's go ahead and grab that potion off the auction house here, and we'll go ahead and we'll start using that potion. It is pretty pricey. You can just get the rank 2 potion of this if you wanted to save a bit of gold, but we went ahead and just got the rank 3 one, which was pretty pricey on the NA, going for 900 gold. But when you're doing this farm, it is super simple. You just want to follow around the tank, and his job is to pull big amounts of mobs and kill them all in the one location, so it is easy for everyone to skin them up. And as you can see, we're leveling our skinning up. Now if we had max skinning and all the knowledge points already, we would obviously be making a lot more gold from this farm. But starting from 0, we actually still made around 40,000 gold from doing this farm. And once again, this doesn't count the higher level BOEs. So on Loot Appraiser, it doesn't track the higher prices for the higher item level BOEs that we did actually get. So it's looking more about 50 to 60,000 gold. Now if you have all the knowledge points for this farm in skinning, you will also make more gold than I'm making. In this example, I started from basically 0 and I had no knowledge points, and I also had to level up my skinning from like level 0 all the way up to like 100 whilst doing this farm. So if you already had it set up, you should expect to make a lot more gold. So far this would definitely be the best gold farm out of the 2 that we've already done. Would definitely be this skinning farm, and then in second would be the cloth farm at the beach that I showed you in Halo 4. So this is a really good farm, and you could probably crank out enough gold to get a token from this within about 5 hours or so. So overall, this is a great farm to do. If you just want to focus on one farm, then I'd probably recommend doing the bee and also the wolf skinning farm. It's a really good farm so far out of the ones that we have tested. Let's go ahead once again. We'll post everything up on the auction house. Now all the materials, these are going to sell pretty much instantly from this farm. That is the best thing about doing the war within farms, is that the items that you're going to be farming sell extremely quickly. So as you can see, they're already selling. We just posted them. Now the BOEs will take a little bit longer, but we have around 100k in the auction house, and we also have 15k in sales. So we'll just go ahead and check this out. As you can see, it's only been a little bit of time and the majority of everything has sold. So we'll go ahead and we'll clear out the mailbox. We have 67k in the mailbox, which is very nice. So we'll go ahead, we'll post these items up in the auction house, and we'll also collect the gold out of our mailbox. So we have a good start here already. We have 67k in the mailbox. Let's go ahead and grab that out. And we also have another 3k in our bags already, just from raw gold that we have farmed from this first farm. So let's go ahead, grab all of this out, and we're going to be sitting at around 65,000 gold. Very, very nice. We'll also repost these items that expired. So let's get these back up on the auction house so they can sell for us. So we have another 79k on the auction house. But let's go ahead and mix up the farm once again. Let's unlearn skinning. We're going to pick up mining and also herbalism. And let's go ahead and try doing some of the war within gathering. So with this, obviously, once again, we're going to be starting from 0, meaning that we don't have any knowledge points, and the skill is going to be starting from skill 1. So within the first hour, I think our goal with gathering will be to just level up, get some knowledge points so we can actually maximize the amount of gold we make. So the first thing, once again, if you're starting off with a new profession, is that you want to collect all of the treasures. So we went around all the map and we picked up all of the different treasures for mining and herbalism. As you can see, these are these purple items in our bags, and each one of these are going to give us 3 knowledge points for the profession they are for. Another thing that we want to do is we want to pick up some profession tools for gathering. So we want to get our mining tools and accessories, and also our herbalism tools and accessories. These will just give us extra stats for the profession, and overall will help us make a lot more gold from doing gathering. So now what we want to do is throw these on. Now we've got that set up. As you can see, we have all the basic tools for gathering. Also, when you're doing this, you want to be using the vial of true sight. Now what this potion does is it actually allows you to see hidden nodes. So there's a bunch of hidden nodes around the map that you can see when you're using the vial of true sight. So this is definitely recommended. Now the location that I've picked is over in Hello 4, and this is a great location. It's a very little area, but in the area there is a bunch of nodes for mining and herbalism. That is why I like doing this location. Overall, is my favorite one. So I'll show you on the map where this location is, but it's basically these 2 little islands up the top of Hello 4, and you just fly around both the islands, and there is going to be a lot of nodes. The density here for the nodes is extremely good, making it a great gold farm to do. So what we'll do in this first hour, like I mentioned, is we're mainly just focusing on leveling up our professions, getting them as close as possible to 100 skill, and also farming a bunch of different knowledge points. Because at the start, you're going to not make a crazy amount of gold if you just picked up the professions, because you do need to have skill, and you also need to have a bunch of knowledge points to really increase the amount of gold that you make from gathering in the war within. So I expect the amount of gold we make in this first hour, while we're just leveling up our professions and also getting knowledge points, is going to be fairly low. The more knowledge points that you put into these specializations, the more amount of gold that you're going to be making from doing gathering. Also, obviously, with the skill, where you can skill from 1 all the way up to 100, every single time you level up, I believe you get finesse, which is also going to increase the amount of gold that you make when you're doing gathering. So this first hour will probably be pretty low amounts of gold, but then once we have a bunch of knowledge points in the specializations, and also we have a bunch of skill level in the professions, this is when the amount of gold will really start increasing. Once you have a full setup and a full specialization in mining and herbalism, you're looking at around 40 to 50,000 gold per hour from this farm if you have everything mid-maxed and ready to go. But for realistic numbers. That is why I'm going to be starting off from 0 knowledge points. So a full beginner to gold making can go ahead and expect the numbers that I'm going to be showing you from doing gathering in this video. But like I mentioned, I think what our plan is that we'll do 1 hour of basically just skilling up our professions, getting knowledge points and whatnot. And this will be a low amount of gold. And then once we have spent a bunch of knowledge points and stuff, we'll actually do another hour, and I'll just show you the difference that it makes when actually putting knowledge points into the profession. Because I've heard this a lot of times from people saying, I can only make 5,000 gold per hour from mining and herbalism. And that is because you're just starting fresh. You don't have knowledge points set in any of the specializations, and you also don't have the skill in the professions leveled up already. So the higher you do this, the more gold you will make. But as you can see, this was the first hour where we're just leveling everything up, and we're looking at around 14,000 gold per hour, which is pretty low, to be honest. If you had everything set up and maxed out all your professions, your skill, and also the specializations, you're looking at around 40 to 50k. But as you can see, just from this first hour, we're looking at about 14k gold from basically just leveling up our professions. So what we're going to do is we'll go ahead and we'll throw this all up in the auction house. This stuff is going to sell extremely quickly. So all the materials that you get from doing gathering, these are very, very quick selling items, and they'll pretty much sell instantly up in the auction house. As for the professions, this is what our profession trees are looking like after the first 1 hour of leveling up our professions and also adding in our knowledge points. So the goal for the professions here is to unlock all of these subcategories for herbalism, as you can see right here. And then we're going to try to max out each one of those, starting off with the one that is the most valuable. Now we have a decent amount of artisan acuity. We can go ahead and buy the books from the vendor over in the main city for War Within. And this is going to give us 15 knowledge points for the profession. And just like that, we've maxed out Bismuth, which is really, really good. We're also going to buy the knowledge point book for herbalism. This will give us another 15 knowledge points in herbalism. And we can start going ahead and filling out some more. Now, a big thing to do is to make sure that you actually unlock the second spec and just unlock it. Now, what this will do, every single time you get a node, you'll actually get back 1 vigor, and this will allow you to be constantly flying in the War Within flying, because you'll have unlimited vigor every single time that you pick up a node from either herbalism or mining. So this is very important, and this will actually keep us going very quick with our flying, and will actually make us a lot more gold, because we won't have to be waiting for vigor to come back and worrying about that. We pretty much have unlimited vigor. So what we're going to do now is we'll go ahead and we'll do another hour farming at the exact same location, but this time we have a lot more skill in both of these professions, and we also have a lot more knowledge points in the specializations for the professions. So I expect this hour we're going to make even more gold from doing the exact same gathering route. So we'll go ahead and we'll finish up an hour of this, and we'll see how much gold we end up making this hour. But the main thing I like about this farm is that there is just so many nodes so close together. You're constantly just going from node to node, and you're actually, I reckon it would be one of the best gathering locations in the War Within. But as you can see, we're coming up close to 1 hour here, and we're looking at about 19,000 gold. So as you can see, the more points and the more skill that you have in these professions, the more gold that you're going to be making. Like I mentioned, if you have it mid-maxed and you have all of the specializations set up and all the skill maxed out to 100, you're looking at around 40 to 50,000 gold per hour from this gathering farm. So far, the gathering, it honestly keeps up with the other ones if you have it fully maximized and mid-maxed with all the skill and knowledge points. But as a fresh beginner, if you just want to pick up something quickly to make enough gold for a token, then I'd probably say the skinning farm is going to be your best option, because straight off the rip, we're making over 40,000 gold per hour, starting off from 0 with skinning. So you can just start farming right away and expect to make around 40,000 gold. Then once you have skinning all mid-maxed and you have knowledge points spent in it and it maxed with skill up to 100, you're looking at closer to about 60,000 gold per hour. So out of these 3 farms that we have tested so far, I definitely would say it would go the bee and wolf skinning farm, and then it would go the beach cloth farm, and then third would be this gathering farm at this location right here. So hopefully that helps you out. And these are all War Within gold farms. In the next episode, I know a lot of people don't have the War Within. So in the next episode, we're going to be focusing on all gold farms from older expansions. But to finish off this episode, let's go ahead and post all the materials that we just farmed up on the auction house. Now, once again, make sure we're not posting at the bait price where people are trying to bait you to post items for less than they're worth. We want to make sure that we're posting them at the best prices possible. But as you can see, we have it all posted up on the auction house. It's selling extremely quickly. That is the best thing about the War Within farms, is that the items sell pretty much instantly. Where if you're doing old expansion farms, they do take a bit longer to sell. But let's go ahead and have a recap of this episode. So we have 57,000 gold in our inventory at the moment, and we also have another 45k in our mailbox. So let's go ahead and collect all of the sales from the mailbox, and we're going to be looking at, I think, around 100k gold in our bags, which is very good for the first episode of the series. So 102,000 gold, which I'm pretty happy with. This is spending around 4 hours. Now, if you'd like to learn a bunch more about making gold in retail World of Warcraft or any version of the game, then I recommend checking out Goldcapped. It will be linked down below. And you can also check out my premium gold making guide for the War Within, for retail in general. In this guide, I go over all the best methods to make gold in retail World of Warcraft, and this guide is constantly updated. If you already own a copy, you get all future updates completely for free sent to your email address. So if you want to check that out, it's linked down below in the description box. Also subscribe for episode number 2.